Hello, my name is Manuel Munoz. This is my Form 5 on Healing Prayer video. In this post, I had to share my healing prayer experience and tell how the Holy Spirit put that person in my path, how I approached that person about prayer, and what happened before, during, and after I prayed. Well, that person that came to mind right away is my brother, my older brother Shane. Right now he's on dialysis and he's been pretty much bedridden or in the hospital for the past 3 years. He has they had to cut a hole in his neck, so I'm not exactly sure what the term or what it's called, but he has a lot of scar tissue that's preventing him from leaving that facility due to his insurance. We don't have, he doesn't have the money or whatnot to go get that surgery, and the insurance doesn't cover it. So not only that, but just the scar tissue. Not only the scar tissue that's been built up, but his dialysis, his kidneys, and that in it within itself it's a hard thing to deal with, and it could be very depressing on him sometimes. Feels lonely, feels like he has nobody around. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one out of my family he talks to due to other situations and problems that arose, and he holds that resentment in his heart. So he came to my mind first thing. The second thing that came to my mind was, how do I approach him? Because in the past few weeks, I come to realize that in order to be healed, you both have to have the faith, both have to believe in order for this to work. So the first thing I asked him was, "Hey, can I ask you a few questions? About how you feel about God and His healing powers and His miracles." I was like, "Do you believe that He could heal you?" And I'm not gonna lie, knowing my brother, I thought he was gonna be iffy about it, but he actually surprised me by saying that he does believe. But when I spoke with him, I felt like he believes that God can, but I don't think that he believes that it can happen to him. That's what I was getting from him. So I don't know what came over me during talking to him about, I told him I wanted to pray for him, and I just wanted to make sure before I prayed for him. I was going to pray for him either way, but before I prayed for him, I wanted to, just to see where he stood on, the subject matter and how he felt about it. I just wanted to see how his perspective on it. He had a good perspective on it. I know he believes. It's just in his situation, I think it's hard for him to believe that it could happen to him, like I said earlier. But so while I was talking to him, things started coming to my head. I was speaking with him about his situation. Like, I felt like I knew what he was going through. I was telling him, like, don't worry about this. I know you have a lot of resentment. Resentment kept popping up in my head. And I was like, man, I know you have a lot of resentment in your heart. I know you have a lot of, you're angry. You feel like your family's not there for you. You're alone. You have all these things that you're dealing with, not on top of, being overweight on dialysis. It's like, it's not a good combination. So I just pretty much just told him that God can do, He's there for you. Even when nobody else isn't there for you. He knows what you're going through. There's a reason why we're going through it. For the past 3 years, me and him both have been dealing with a lot of stuff. So I try to relate, my situation to his, situation, and to let him know that he's not alone, that he needs to surrender. I don't know why it just kept coming to my head that he needs to surrender to God, give everything to God. And I felt feel like he's holding on to something. That's why it hasn't really, I don't know. That's just what I felt, while speaking to him. And, after I got through praying for him and talking to him about it, I started to realize that a lot of the things that I went through, a lot of things that I went through wasn't just for me. It was for me to go through those experiences, to feel that pain, to feel all those things that I had to deal with in order to relate to other people. I don't know why that popped in my head after, because when I was speaking to him, like, it was just coming out fluently, and I don't even know what I was saying, to be honest. Like, I felt it in my heart, and I just spoke it. And then afterwards, I just realized, before, I would always wonder why I would go through those things. Always wondered why I had it hard, why this, why that, poor me, whatever. But now I realize that now I know what it feels like, and I can reach other people that are going through the same thing to let them know that, hey, if I can get through this, if God can help me through this and pull me out of that pit, He can do it for you. If God can help, help my loneliness, my depression, my anxiety, my thoughts, of suicide, which I've dealt with, and all these other different situations that I've dealt with, allows me to help others. So I'm happy. I'm happy that I went through these things. I'm happy that I'm going to get to pray for people. I'm happy that I'm going to be able to bring other people to God and to know who He is and to feel what I get to feel. That love, the patience, the understanding, the mercy, the grace. It's an amazing thing. And I apologize that my video wasn't, kept getting interrupted. But I felt the need to do it right now. And I don't want to edit it. But I just want to say thank you, Professor Munoz, for teaching me this, guiding me through this. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for listening.